with Tua, it has never been worse with me. It is remember that arranged marriage, Charlie?
Yeah.
I'm not sleeping on the couch anymore, man. I got my own place so far away.
Can I ask you guys a very, very quick question?
Yeah, hold on. You don't even sleep in the same house, Steve. Y'all just not even together. Y'all just just on paper now.
No, there's no even cohabitating whatsoever. It is get away as far as possible. Completely done.
You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. Go. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Go. Don't waste no time.
I opened up the last episode with was the Steelers game make or break for the Miami Dolphins? What it should have been is was it make or break for Tua Tagovailoa? And I'd hoped to come on air today and tell Charlie how I sat down on Saturday, watched Ace Ventura for the first time to open up this case of Pringles, Santa's secret flavor, and have a great time. But the football universe was like, nope, you don't have time for that, save for the offseason. So to discuss everything happening in Miami right now, as always, I'm joined by the host of Go Time Dolphins. Charlie, tell them what time it is.
It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. Got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast, and official affiliates of Fanatics, where you can be a fanatic of your favorite franchise. The Miami Dolphins fall to the Pittsburgh Steelers 28-15 in a game that wasn't as competitive as what the score displays. But outside of it just being myself and Kadeem Simmons, we got GTD affiliate, homie of the house, Sherrod Steve with us. We're going to chop it up, man. Sherrod Steve is in the building, got the flow going, the luscious locks on top of his dome. What's going on, Steve?
Just going, man. Happy to be on today. Thank you for having me. Ready to get after it.
The flow, though, Steve. Like, the flow. That's, bro, you must be nice. Must be nice. You know what I'm saying? Kadeem and well, maybe I'm about to say Kadeem isn't, you know what? We'll skip the topic, bro. You seen the game, Steve? We have arrived. Where have we arrived, Steve? Where are we?
Well, last time I was on the show, I was wearing a paper bag. I believe it was week 2, 3, maybe.
Hey, it was week 2 and the bag came out, Steve.
Oh yeah. After that cold game was devastating. Yeah.
The bag came out in week 2. That's crazy, bro.
I think it was something like that. Yeah. So at that time, it was fire everyone. Greer's been fired, and I've changed my tune a bit with McDaniel. With Tua, it has never been worse with me. It is. Remember that arranged marriage, Charlie?
Yeah.
I'm not sleeping on the couch anymore, man. I got my own place so far away.
Can I ask you guys a very, very quick question?
Yeah, hold on. You don't even sleep in the same house, Steve. Y'all just not even together. Y'all just just on paper now.
No, there's no even cohabitating whatsoever. It is get away as far as possible. Completely done.
Yeah, go ahead, Kadeem.
Either of you seen or heard McDaniel's press conference that he did on Tuesday?
Oh yeah. Hold on. Before we get to that, we did. I did, and I seen the post game as well. Steve, bro.
So you seen the? I'm talking like the one he did today. Like,
yeah, I seen that, okay, and I seen the post game as well. So with what you were saying, Steve, you mentioned in a text message to me, bro. If you walked in the Subway and you seen Tua in Subway, there would be no words. It wouldn't even be good words for him, and it wouldn't even be bad words. You just wouldn't say nothing to him, bro. What's that about, bro?
What am I going to tell him? I don't want to lie to the guy.
Yeah.
I have nothing positive to tell that guy. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but it's just there's a reality that is sinking in. You could call it a midlife crisis. I am turning 43 this month.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up, you heard of the stories of the Cubs and the Red Sox and these franchises that have just endured so much pain in like 100 years. And that just seemed, unimaginable. Like, oh, okay, yeah, that's wild. 100 years? Oh, man, and I'm starting to feel like the next sad story. It's just gotten to a point where you just got to be real about it. And I feel as if one man truly has derailed our team the past 3-4 years.
You acting right now. You're not talking about Tua, are you?
Absolutely, man.
All right. Kadeem, get back in here, bro. We'll get there. We'll get there, Steve. What did you have for us, Kadeem, about the press conference?
Well, two things. One, Steve was last here after we lost to the Patriots. So we were about to play the Bills. So I can understand why the bag was out that early, because just like there's nothing to play for already, and we are in like September. This was what, September? Why doesn't anyone ever tell me the date? But yeah, it's early September, and it's like our season is done. Steve, did you see the press conference today? Today being Tuesday?
I did.
Yeah. So I raised that because after the game against the Steelers, McDaniel was asked, are you going to move on? Are you going to bench Tua? And he was like, it's too early for that. I need to see the tape, all that kind of stuff. Less than 24 hours later, he basically confirms he's going to bench Tua. That's how I saw it anyway. If you're not going to bench Tua, you say, I'm not benching him, he's the starter. But no, he said he'll name the starter on Wednesday. So it looks like the Tua era in Miami is done. It's done after 6 years. And I also kind of agree with Charlie in the sense that, because obviously social media right now is people walking back every single take or every single positive take they had about Tua. It's basically all of those who didn't believe in him and said he was trash. You guys were right. I was wrong. And I'm sitting here going, it's okay to no longer believe in him and to say that the Tua we've got in 2025 is bad and it's time to move on. But to pretend like he's always been this bad. I think we've had this conversation before, you and I, Charlie, to pretend like at the very, very least, 2023 never happened, to me is disingenuous. And I think that's where it's kind of like, it's okay to be angry and be like, we need to move on because 2025 play has been horrendous. But the last 6 years hasn't been. And I think that's where I'm kind of like hitting back at anyone who's like, he's always been bad and we should have moved on. And it's like, no, it's a interesting day for the Miami Dolphins. I don't know what they do next, but yeah, I'm not going to sit and pretend that the whole 6 years have been a complete waste of time.
Well, Steve, you said one man. You're on mute, by the way. You said one man has derailed the Dolphins franchise, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it kind of sounded like you said this whole thing is because of the quarterback. You want to expand on that?
It's all right. My theory on him having a very good 2023 is just a perfect storm of a new offense the league has never seen, weapons top notch, arguably the best wide receiver duo in the league, a the most talented roster we have seen in our lifetimes, at least since the 90s. And you can debate which roster is more talented in the 90s. We
talking
had
about Dolphins roster though, right?
right, yeah.
All right.
So yes, he played well, but so did a lot of other guys, and he was a piece of that. And it's just these windows, and you can ask the Detroit Lions right now. It feels like their window is closing, which is wild because there's no doubt too. Like 2 years ago, they were like the best team in the league. If injuries don't hit them, they got some rings in their trophy case, and that's not the case. So for me, it's extra frustrating because it did feel, that reboot felt different. It felt like we were hitting on some guys. We went hard in the paint with Chubb and, acquiring, free agents. And overall, Greer did a good job. I was a Greer guy until this year. He fumbled the draft. We all are.
You and me both, Steve.
Right. Yes. We all
both.
agree on that. So that's awesome. I'm glad we agree on that.
Yeah.
I was a Greer guy until that. And with Tua, it's just, man, we're at a point where I don't need to kick him now because it's clear. No one, I don't care if you're the biggest Tua supporter. This is unacceptable. Last time I was on, I told you he wasn't a starter in the league. And now it's confirmed. There's not a scenario in which you can tell me legit today where a team would be like, yeah, I could see him in the mix for competing, potentially being our starter. I don't see anyone being interested. So this is where we've come. It just feels like that. That's why I'm extra angry, I guess. It's not just the disappointment is more than usual because it felt like we had a legit chance to run. I was looking at hotels in Arizona, Charlie.
I feel you. If anybody feel you, I feel you.
So, and the thing is, I would have picked Tua over Herbert in the draft. So I can't be one of those people that said, no, I saw it from the jump. I didn't. So I don't know what we should have done, but man, we put all our chips on Tua, and it's a dumpster fire right now, man. I don't know what you do because you still have a lot of nice pieces, and these guys haven't given up. So that's the other part with Mike McDaniel. I don't know. I'm not quite sure what you do with McDaniel. I don't know.
Steve, bro, here's the only thing I disagree with. Everything you just said, here's the only thing I disagree with. That it's because of one man that we have been derailed. Bro, the Chris Greer train derailed on his own accord. Like, Chris Greer derailed his own train. You know what I'm saying? So him derailing his train has something to do with why the Dolphins are derailed as a whole. So it's not just, and we had an episode, Kadeem, I don't know, I think it was the offseason or maybe the end of last year. Can't remember. But it was who one got to go. Like, and they're all contributing to the foolishness. Tua was contributing to the foolishness. McDaniel was contributing to the foolishness, and Chris Greer contributed to the foolishness. So to me, because of all of their inconsistencies, they came. It's like not Megatron. What was the Power Rangers when they all teamed up? What was it called, Kadeem?
The Megazord.
Megazord, bro. Like, bro, it's like all of them just came with the foolishness together and made this big foolish looking franchise. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened. So it's like everybody played a part in this, and now we're here. And similar, and this is not even for you, Sherrod. I know it might sound like it, but this one isn't for you. But similar to what Joe Burrow said, Joe Burrow's like on some, I'm not having fun, and this is genuinely not for you, bro. But like, I'm not having fun, and things got to change, and da 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 da. I'm like, bro, you get paid $55 million, Joe. What did you think was gonna happen? You can't build around $55 million. So the same way, it's like, yeah, Tua gets the bag now, and he chose now to play his worst football of his life, literally. You know what I'm saying, bro? Tua looks like Tannehill, bro. Worse than Tannehill. He looks worse than Tannehill right now. And for me to not like Tannehill and to always get on Tannehill for not even knowing when to throw the ball away. Bro, you don't know when to throw the ball away. How you an NFL quarterback, and you don't know when you can throw the ball away without a penalty or being outside the pocket without having to take the sack. And Tua suddenly doesn't know how to do that. He doesn't know when he could throw the ball away or how to throw the ball away, and he still takes sacks and unnecessary hits. So that's not a thing that we've always seen throughout his career. Nonetheless, none of it matters no more because now we're here, and now he's trash. He's the worst I've ever seen him, like ever. So both of you boys are right. Like Kadeem is right. Like this is not the we didn't even see, he wasn't even this bad when he was a rookie. He wasn't this bad in his second year. He's never been this bad. So Kadeem's right about that. But Steve, you're right about that too. Here's where another thing where I'll push back on week 2, saying he's not a starting quarterback in the NFL is different from 13 weeks later. It's like, yo, we got 13 weeks of evidence now. Now I can say, yeah, bro, there's so many other quarterbacks that's better than him. You know what I'm saying? But for it to be week 2 and be like, I don't know, that was a little tough for me.
It's the fundamentals, man. Like you just said, he took those sacks. The offensive line played well last night. He had time, and he's running out of the pocket. You just need to throw 15 yards out of bounds. I mean, and I'm saying from the field where he's at, out of bounds. It's not a far distance. He can't do it. And the first interception.
That was my thing, bro. Hold on. Let me do this, bro. Because Asante Samuel Jr. Touche's 24, and Tua is my dog. Like this is just too. This is too much. We wanted Asante Samuel Jr. on the Miami Dolphins. He ended up on the Pittsburgh Steelers and ends up picking up Tua in a play where there's only 2 routes ran. This is max protection, where it's like, yo, if it's not open, throw the ball away. So for you to throw this pick, this is you don't have to be a huge football guru or anything to know this. Football 101, bro. You only have 2 routes. How many DBs are out there? You got 2 receivers. You got like 6 DBs. If the reads aren't open, this ball has to go somewhere, or you got to tuck it and run. We know he's not going to tuck it and run. The fact that he threw this ball in the cover 2 and got it picked, bro, that is unacceptable, inexplainable. It's this, you can't do that, bro. So for him to do this goes back to me saying, yo, Tua didn't do his homework, bro, in the offseason. Not just that play. Now this is overall. This is, I just got my new house. Congratulations, Holmes. I just got the bag. Congratulations, Holmes. But he's no longer invested the way he used to be invested. And that's why I said, bro, Tua, what's the phrase? Under pressure Tua is the best Tua. When Watson was coming and trade talks was happening and Tua should retire talks was happening, that was when he was playing his best football. And then he overcame it. And this is just, I did what I had to do. I got my $50 million. I'm $100 million richer than what I was before I started. And now I'm comfortable. And that's what it is, bro. This is the tool we got. My bad shit, right?
No, you said it. I mean, that's not that's a high school quarterback mistake. Like straight up. That's quarterbacking 101. If you ever played Madden, it's pretty simple. You understand the concepts. And you saw the stat. He throws all of his interceptions in zone coverage. He does not read the field. He just throws to spots. And I understand it's a timing offense. I understand, that's how McDaniel might have wired his brain. But this guy cannot think on his own. He does not see the field whatsoever. His arm looks weaker than ever. Everything, he looks slower than ever. Like he just looks like he's aged 5 years within a year. And here we are. And
ding, 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 bro. That's really what it is, Steve. It's like he just deteriorated. Like, bro, you look like you were a 16-year-old quarterback, and you only been in the league 6 years.
But the thing is, Charlie, and the people that were hard on him so long, that was the problem. His ceiling was so low, and over time, you don't get bigger, stronger, faster. So he was already, against it. And yes, you get a setback, you get a knee injury or whatever, hey, I don't run the same because I got this foot injury. Those things we know just happen. And he could not afford to have any real step backs. And it's just that was the problem with him. That's why everyone's just you watch him and there's nothing exciting about it. And that's what we live in this society, Sports Center top 10. We want to see the flashy plays. We want to see the talent. And you never saw talent with Tua. He dropped a nice, accurate ball. That's nice. But a lot of guys in the
I
league,
disagree on that. You never seen talent with Tua, bro. Like there's passes where it's like, yo, people are not supposed to make this pass. Like the tight window Tua didn't come just out of because it being a cool name. Dog was tight window Tua once upon a time.
or it was just the people who were in his corner saying, what does he do great? Oh, he's accurate. He's accurate. Which, okay, all right. But what else? Like, there just needed to be more. And then to top it all off, and I'll try to get off of it now, it is his personality that just drives me nuts too. Him smiling and laughing, I want to go on that sideline and wipe that smile right off his face, man. I'm not kidding. It's crazy to me. It's like, what's so funny? What is so funny on the side? And I could see once in a blue moon, something happens, and okay, I'm not trying to say this guy needs to be perfect 24/7, but have you ever seen him slam his helmet on the ground? Have you ever seen him like, oh man, Tua?
Nah, I seen him upset, but not slam his helmet, not so much demonstrative. Nah,
everyone's different. People are different. They express themselves in different ways, but he throws an interception. He's just sitting on the bench with a little smirk on his face, like, yeah, they got me that time.
It's a lot too, bro. You were gonna say something, but it's a lot of picks, bro. 15. That's usually the high at the end of every year. Like the highest amount of picks is like 15, 16. You might see an 18 from time to time, unless you're Jameis, you throw for 30 for 30. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, Kadeem, you were gonna say something?
Well, again, two things. So, January 2nd, 2025 is when we done the Who Leaves Miami, McDaniel, Greer, or Tua. That was in January. It feels like ages ago, but that was literally, we're approaching a year of the episode. The other thing is, I think for me and Tua this season, you mentioned, the deterioration, the regression. It was also like just in game. So like the Jets game the other week, where he starts off so well and just like, oh, this is great. And then by the end of the game, it's like, dude, you can't even complete a pass. Like it's the Falcons games a couple of months ago. At the time, they were like the best passing defense, and he torches them, absolutely destroys them. And then the next week, it's just interceptions, and that's what I don't understand, because in some of these games, in some of these moments, you're seeing flashes of, I guess at this point, it's 2023 Tua, the best he's going to play in the NFL. You're seeing him kind of roll out, make a throw, and then a week later he rolls out and he can barely pick up 2 yards. And it's just like, what is happening on a week-to-week basis, or on a like drive-to-drive basis, where you are just falling apart in front of our eyes?
But I got a question for both of you. No, if you can finish the point though, my bad.
I'm saying, even yesterday, it's garbage time, but he finishes like the game with like 16 for 18 with 2 touchdowns, and people try and like highlight those stats. Oh, he's still good. It's like, well, one, it's garbage time. Everyone is good in garbage time, great, but also, again, like we're getting a polar opposite to our in game, and you can't win championships that, let alone a single game. To me, it makes. I don't understand it. I can't get my head around why it just looks so different on a drive basis.
Hey, Kadeem, can you share? I just sent you a picture. I forgot to send it to you before the episode. Let me know when you're able to share it, and we'll go to it. But my question to you guys, before we're going to turn the page, we've spent 30 minutes on something I think every Dolphin fan knows right now, that Tua isn't playing well. And I think everybody sees it. And if you're a fan that says, oh, it's not that bad, I think you haven't been watching the games. I think you might be a fan. Go ahead, Steve.
All right, question right now today. Do you want to cut Tua this offseason? Or do you want to ride it out, the contract?
Would you like to want to rephrase the question, or what's the question? Because do I want to cut Tua? There's too many things to cutting Tua where it's like, cutting Tua might not be the best thing for the team.
No, I understand that. It's all about the money at this point.
Right.
But I'm saying you personally, and it's a little early, but
yeah. So I
last
know.
night was the nail in the coffin for a lot of
I know
people.
where you're going. I know where you're going, and that's where the whole conversation is about to go. So I don't want to just. I could open up for you. I think you ready with this picture, Kadeem? Hold on.
Yeah.
All right, so I can open up for you because that's where I was going, Steve. So once we start that conversation, I'll start it off with what I think we should do, because I was going to ask you guys the same thing. Like, but at the end of the day, if you're a fan and you're just watching, like, oh, maybe it's not that bad, and maybe he gets back on track and all this other good stuff, I think you're not watching the games. Can he get back on track? Sure, but will he? Not likely. So before we turn the page into that conversation, we haven't done easy money this year, right, Kadeem?
Maybe week one.
All right, so I'm gonna just say we haven't done easy money this week. And I think it was last episode I came on this podcast and I said, yo, I'm staying away from all things betting for a little bit. You got some funny stuff going on in the NBA. You got some players running out of bounds in football, punters letting stuff happen on the field. So a lot of funny stuff going on. UFC got some crazy stuff going on, right? You got the pick, Kadeem?
Nah, new
All right,
laptop.
cool. So I'll dress it up. I'll dress it up. Let me know when you got it.
No, I won't be able to get up this episode at all.
Oh, all right. Well, it's all right. We'll put it in. All right, cool. It's all right. So I got a homie in town, and he was asking me, "Oh, what's up? Couple bets. And I'm like, look, bro, I'm not betting right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking a break. I'm on a little hiatus. And then he see me looking at like DraftKings, and he's like, bro, what's going on here? I thought you was taking a break. And I said, bro, just because I'm on a diet doesn't mean I can't look at the menu. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I want to see what's out there. So I told you guys about this group chat that I have. It's called the Bag Boys group chat, right? It's a couple of the homies. We share some stuff in the group chat, Bag Boys, right? Trying to get the bag. And from time to time, they'll hit me and they'll say, Slick, man, I know you out the game, but shoot us something. Let me know what you think. So from time to time, I'll just go on the app and see what I like, and I'll put it in the group chat. So this week, I went on DraftKings, and I'm like, let me see what I like. You feel me? And I put together a parlay, plus 3,000. Darren Waller touchdown, anytime touchdown. Darren Waller plus 4 receptions. Devon Achane plus 5 receptions, and Devon Achane 50 plus receiving yards. $100 win $3,100. It hit last night. Didn't take no action on it. Just want you to know that it hit last night. And to combine this all together, I have 3 real important fantasy football leagues. The main league that I have, the podcast league, and the work league that I have. I had Tyler Warren at tight end, and I had Darren Waller on the bench. And although I knew Darren Waller would go off because the Dolphins are petty like that, they want to show Jonnu Smith it wasn't you. We could do this with any tight end. I didn't start him. And I lost my playoff game by 2 points. And that's what I get because Tyler Warren didn't give me anything. And Darren Waller went off on my bench. I just had to get that out before the podcast, and I forgot. You know what I'm saying? But go with what you think. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes in fantasy football, you gotta take risks, and now I'll be watching for the sideline, bro. That's all I got with that. You got that question for me now, Steve?
Yeah. I mean, this offseason, who stays, who goes? Does everyone stay? Does everyone go?
So I think it's fair because you said you kind of coming back with McDaniel. You kind of not as on the fence with McDaniel anymore. You're siding on keeping him. And I think what the Dolphins are doing is we paid Tua, and if we let him go, we're gonna shoot ourselves in the foot. And I gotta be careful what I say with the internet. But it's like, yo, our dead cap is gonna be, we're gonna set ourselves back 2 seasons, a season and a half. So I don't know if the Dolphins are willing to do that by letting Tua walk. I think I got numbers here too. I think if we let him walk this year, pre-June 1st, it might be $45 million dead cap you eat this season. That means you take the L this season. Or if you split it up post June 1st, it's like, I think it's like you split it in half between this season and next season. So at the end of the day, you could wait till next season. You let them play the entire season, and then you let them walk, and your dead cap is nowhere near as much. So financially, I believe the Dolphins are going to keep Tua, and I would probably keep him because I don't want that mess on my dead cap. Doesn't mean I won't, if I'm in a position to draft a quarterback, or there's a quarterback out there who I could trade for, I would trade for that quarterback and Tua's on the bench, and all that money would be just sitting there taking up space, and it's not aesthetically pleasing, but financially for the team, you got to do what you got to do. We're in this bed, we got to sleep in it. So as far as keeping McDaniel, bro, I think you keep McDaniel because you're keeping Tua. Now I have a question for both of you after this, but what's your answer about keeping McDaniel, keeping Tua right now?
Go ahead, Keith.
So via Spotrac, if the Dolphins cut Tua, the dead money hit is an NFL record $99.2 million.
No, but when pre-June or post?
I'm getting there.
My bad.
Designating him as a post-June 1st cut will spread that money across 2026 of $67.4 million, and in 2027, $31.8 million. If the Dolphins were to somehow trade him, there's a scenario where the team will be on the hook for $45.2 million in 2026 and actually save $11.2 million in cap space.
So a pre-June 1st trade, not cut. Cut is out. You can't cut this man unless you're going to get hit with $100 million dead cap.
So why can't you cut him then?
$100 million dead cap. You can if you want, but you're going to incur that dead cap and incur that dead cap. But if you trade him, it's $45 million pre-June 1st, and post-June 1st, it'll be $13 million in 2026 and $31 million in 2027. It's like what you can do. None of your options. This is picking your poison. Like, your poison is this is how do you want to go out, basically, if you trade him or cut him. My thing is, I don't want to go out like that at all. So he might as well be on the team for 2026. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an L. You just decided how you want to take this L.
I think I lean towards keeping McDaniel, but I've also seen a better Dolphins offense, or even a better Dolphins team fail to win consistently without Tua, and that's with Mike McDaniel as head coach. So even if Tua's still on the team but he's not starting, McDaniel's shown anything in the 4 years he's been here, he can win consistently without Tua.
To be fair, the 4-game winning streak, Tua wasn't playing well and McDaniel was winning. So it's like,
sorry, say it again.
The 4-game winning streak we just had,
yep,
Tua was not playing well. It wasn't like lights out. Tua got us 4 wins. It was like we're putting together.
Hold on, but he was a starter and he won.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying he wasn't. What I'm saying is McDaniel still had to play with a lesser quarterback and was winning games with a lesser quarterback.
But then it also goes back to, even in those games, Tua and the Dolphins started off well. Like that Jets game, he's like, obviously he starts off like 7 for 7. There's a turnover, but at 21 zip, he's done nothing wrong, and then he falls downhill. Now the Dolphins held on to those games, but my overall point is, even if Tua's on the field, he's won. Once he comes onto that field, McDaniel can't win.
Don't get it twisted. I'm still not all the way in on McDaniel the way Steve may be, because McDaniel was running huddled up slow motion offenses with 4 minutes left, and then we was getting back in the game, and by the time we had an onside kick, it was like, well, we should have probably went a little bit faster because we scored that touchdown pretty fast. So McDaniel's still tripping. He still be tripping, bro. So I'm still not all the way in on McDaniel either. But Sarah, Steve, what you got for us? Well, you in on Tua? You out on Tua? You in on McDaniel? You out on McDaniel? What do you think we need to do?
With McDaniel, to address what Kadeem was talking about, McDaniel not winning without Tua, I think one of the biggest gripes we had with Greer was the backup quarterback situation. So he did him no favors with excuse me, with getting just underrated or backups that just couldn't get it done. And then you have the situation. Excuse me, 1 second. Go ahead, Kadeem.
And no, it's that is a valid point. And again, hindsight, all that kind of stuff. The one thing, even like the Tua people who never believed in Tua, the one thing they told us was that anyone could win this offense, anyone. And it's like, that's not true. There were people who were attending Dolphins, Dolphin practices and saying Skylar Thompson's the better quarterback and he will beat out Tua, and it never happened. And again, if you put we might see McDaniel and Quinn Ewers or Zach Wilson in the next 3 games. It's like, okay, he's won a few games without Tua and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying you keep Tua and McDaniel together because in the past, because the run game we've now got, the offensive line looks better. Like, you're probably put in a better situation. The quarterback coming in is probably in a better situation than, your Skylar Thompsons and your Tyler Huntleys and all that kind of stuff. And they'll probably get a full offseason with the starters. However, even as someone who is leaning towards keeping McDaniel, I have a brain, I have a memory. You cannot sit there and tell me that McDaniel showed in those games without Tua, he could even adapt to what that other quarterback was doing. Tyler Huntley, you've got a running quarterback. Why are you making Tyler Huntley trying to play the game like Tua? It can't be done. There's a reason why Tyler Huntley is a good backup in Baltimore and essentially nowhere else. So, yeah, I'm not naive enough to think that another quarterback is going to come in and run a system that more experienced vets haven't been able to run, and you probably don't have Tyreek Hill next year. So it's not like you're throwing to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. However, you probably got a better run game to lean on, a better offensive line. So I'm willing to see it, but yeah, McDaniel can't win about Tua yet, and it'll be interesting to see if that changes.
So we keeping McDaniel or not? Kadeem?
Yeah, I'm keeping him because I also think deserves is the wrong word, but January 2nd, we asked a question: who goes Graham McDaniel or Tua? And so
I think me and Kadeem are on the same page as far as, and for me, I'll add this part on extra. I think McDaniel and Tua stay together one more season, and then it's a clean slate when you move on from both of them after next year. I think that's what I'm saying. But I still got a caveat in there. But go ahead, Steve, because you didn't tell us.
Yeah, apologies. I got a 4-year-old that's yeah. So with McDaniel, I think he's super talented. I question, the only thing I question is his leadership, but the guys haven't given up on him this season, which means a lot. And maybe Weaver has a lot to do with that as well. You got to give those coaches a lot of credit because we were 1-6. Like, that is not many teams recover from that kind of start. and we definitely did, to have at least a respectable year. So I would like to see what McDaniel could do. And the other part of McDaniel is, who are we going to get? Usually I got 1 or 2 guys I'm really interested in. Ben Johnson's, the Harbaughs, the Sean Paytons. There's none of those guys this year.
Maybe. Because John Harbaugh there's murmurs.
Not Harbaugh.
So you want John Harbaugh?
Oh, no. Zero interest in John Harbaugh.
Hey, it's funny how this thing works, Steve. Because here we are, and before I go there, because that was y'all boys just following along, perfect segues. And before we segue completely, I will say I said Tua and McDaniel stay together, but not without competition coming in the building at quarterback, whether it's a draft or somebody comes and challenges Tua for the starting spot. Go ahead.
So someone in the UK Dolphins watch group chat said that earlier, like a fair competition. I'm not even trying to be naive. What does to you, what does fair competition actually
I
mean?
didn't say a fair competition. That someone said that. So you have to ask that person that. So I said without someone challenging him for the starting position.
Okay, so yeah, so what does challenging him mean though? Because surely Quinn Ewers and Zach Wilson are challenging.
No, I disagree. Someone, maybe I should add an extra word. Someone capable of challenging him for the position. Ewers and Zach Wilson are not capable of challenging Tua for a starting quarterback position in the NFL. So when you go out and you go out and you add someone like maybe Russell Wilson might not do it either right now, but like it's still Russell Wilson's better than Zach Wilson and Quinn Ewers, I would imagine. So nah, bro, I think it has to be someone who is, yeah, bro. Like I don't have a quarterback off the top of my head, but there's always those 7 or 8 quarterbacks that are fringe, barely not outside of the starting bubble and quality backups. And whether you draft one or you go get one, Tua has to be challenged adequately for the starting position this offseason.
Very, very quickly, and like it's a genuine question. Does Teddy Bridgewater not fall in that bracket of
he was not? No, I don't believe that.
Yes.
I don't believe he was. Because Teddy Bridgewater couldn't start for another team at that time when we had him. So I want a quarterback who can start for another. I want a quarterback who is like he is genuinely deciding between which team to go to because he knows he's going to get starting reps. Bridgewater wasn't that. He didn't have the luxury of saying, "Oh, I could go start in Tampa if I want to." Like that's what I want. I want someone who can go start somewhere if they wanted to and choose the Dolphins instead because they feel like they could challenge for the number 1 spot. So
very quickly, Teddy Bridgewater came off a 14-game season with the Broncos and went 7 for 7. And maybe my mind deceives me, but you were pretty happy with Teddy Two Gloves at the time.
Hold up. But that doesn't mean that he's a starter in the NFL because he won 7 games, though.
But he was starting all the years before he got to Miami.
So if Zach Wilson starts for the Jets, doesn't mean he was a starter in the NFL. He started, but he's not a starting quarterback.
But when we picked him up, he wasn't starting. He had been benched.
No, but
Teddy Bridgewater came to Miami as a starter.
But what I'm saying is, just because Zach Wilson did start games for the Paper Planes doesn't mean he was good enough to start games for the Paper Planes. He was just their starter. Same thing. And Bridgewater. Hold on, and Bridgewater was winning games. So it worked out for Bridgewater because he was 7-7 according to what you said.
I feel like maybe I'm not explaining myself. Zach Wilson, when he got to Miami, had been benched.
I wasn't talking about when he got to Miami. I was talking about
Teddy Bridgewater when he got to Miami was starting the season before. He was a starter coming to Miami.
Right.
Zach Wilson was a bench backup quarterback. Like yes, he had previously started, but when he joined Miami, he was a bench backup. Bridgewater was a starter. Like the two in my mind, the two different things.
My point is, when Zach Wilson was a starter, he wasn't even good enough to be a starter. Is my point. So just because he was a starter doesn't mean he was good enough to be one. And if he won a game or two, good on him. Same thing with Teddy Bridgewater. At that time, I don't believe Bridgewater was good enough to be a starter, but he was starting games, and he won 7 according to what you said. So that's also good on him. But in my opinion, that's not good enough to challenge Tua for a starting position because obviously Bridgewater didn't win out the starting position when he came here. So I want a quarterback where they have options at where they want to go to start football games, and they choose to go to Miami because they genuinely believe they could beat out Tua. But like there's another question.
I don't think that person exists. I'm not taking him back. And again, off the top of my head, I can't think of a quarterback who will be a free agent who has options to start in the NFL. Like I don't like if you have options to start, you're already at.
That's a whole episode. We should have a whole episode on that then. Like because I'm pretty sure I could find a couple. But we'll have an episode on that. So, question about McDaniel, right? So here we go with McDaniel. I think there's a couple different opinions about McDaniel. I'm not sold on him to be the Miami Dolphins head coach. And we talked about timing is everything, and this and that and that and this. Steve, you said in my phone, And you just said on online, you said to everybody listening in the podcast universe, you're not interested in John Harbaugh for whatever reason you didn't give us, but you're not interested in Mike Tomlin either. All of a sudden, what's going on? So you're not interested in Harbaugh or Mike Tomlin? Why not?
Harbaugh, he just, I don't know. I think it's just run its course with him. I just personally, I don't know what he brings. He was a special teams guy. He's not really an offense guy, not really a defensive guy. I think they have done a brilliant job in Baltimore of, sending out a winner consistently year after year. And he got a ring. So he's a good coach.
Should have more than one, but go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. But he's got Lamar Jackson. And what's going on now? Explain that to me.
Bro, what's going on is a lot of starting quarterbacks in the league is wetting the bed. That's what's going on, Steve. But look at your boy, Joe Burrow. Joey Bullis is wetting the bed and throwing his team under the bus, and he's part of the problem. Like, yo, you not put your team in the best situation to succeed, and you blaming other people. Sound like Tua, but okay, you know what I'm saying. And then Lamar Jackson isn't performing well. Jalen Hurts, he's probably the worst out of all of them, next to Tua, out of the 5 quarterbacks we just mentioned. You know what I'm saying? So then, bro, all these boys is not performing well right now. And it's crazy because I can make a case that Sam Darnold is probably a top 7 quarterback in the league right now. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I will make that case, but you can make the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, so it's a lot of stuff going on in the league. Why it was there for the taking for the Dolphins to do something this year, and then have everybody say, "Oh, you won a championship when the league had an off year." Okay, well, I don't matter. I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? So Mahomes is hurt now. You feel me? So there's a lot of stuff going around in the league that, yo, this is football 101. It's not the same. It is not the Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre's and the Drew Breeses and Tom Brady's and that quarterback football that we had growing up, Steve. This is not that, bro. And it's about to be a lot more changes coming in the relatively near future.
Well, all right, let me answer the question though. So I want to bring McDaniel back more likely than not because he has potential. There's a ceiling there. And with Tua, I am done. I'm done with Tua. I'm done with him holding us hostage, essentially. That's what he's doing because with the concussions, and now he's just arguably the worst quarterback in the NFL. I mean, that is legit. I don't know what benefit you get from bringing him besides your books look better because
you
have a locker room.
So all right. So Steve, so what you're saying is if you want to move on from Tua right now, at this moment, get him off my team so we can move forward. What you're saying is essentially next year you're taking the off season. You're not trying to win next year. Is that what you're saying? You okay with that?
Yeah. What I'm saying is I may have Tua on my roster next year, but I'm going to embarrass him and I'm going to sit him the rest of this year. You're not playing anymore. You don't deserve to. You did not earn that right to play. I would sit him. And then in the offseason, I would just sit down and have a candid conversation with him and be like, what's going on? How do you feel physically? What do you want to do? What does this look like? Because that guy would be lying through his teeth if he's like, I think, I just had a couple setbacks, or he's not even close to playing good, consistent winning football. Not even remotely close. So here's the thing. You're going to bring back Tua. By the way, it's a joke that someone would compete against him and lose against this Tua that we're seeing right now. Like, I can't imagine us having a worse quarterback right now, besides maybe our backups, because I don't think Ewers is going to really be that much better. I just would like to give that kid some opportunities on the field, see if he can be my backup for the future. Wilson, I know he's not my backup for the future. I think he's a low-tier backup in the league, Wilson. Ewers might be mid, possibly upper tier if he, turns it on. But with McDaniel, you got to give him kind of a fair shake. And you giving him Tua next year, how do you expect him to hold that locker room together?
Are you saying we never gave McDaniel a fair shake?
No, but I'm saying going forward, if you're going to
he had a fair shake then, though. So McDaniel had a fair shake, is what I'm saying.
McDaniel, I think, did pretty well with what he was given. Would you agree with that?
But I'm saying he had a fair shake, though.
Yeah, but okay, going forward, if you're going to keep him.
So why he get another shake though, Steve? Why did McDaniel? Why does McDaniel get another shake?
Because you can't just throw this horrible quarterback on him and expect him to just create miracles.
But when Tua was not horrible, McDaniel played a part in us losing though. Like
McDaniel's not perfect, but the bottom line is you can't win with Tua. I can win with McDaniel.
Right.
I know I can get W's with McDaniel.
We don't know we can win with McDaniel though. We don't know that.
We don't
know that.
You made a point earlier that you can win McDaniel because he just won the last 4 games with
Tua.
And I made the argument that you can't.
It's not absolute though. Like, so yeah, it's debatable. But it's not like we can win with McDaniel. Like, McDaniel has won with a lesser quarterback, is what I said for sure. So I understand that. But if we're talking about the future of the Miami Dolphins and how we can attain a Super Bowl as soon as possible, what is the best route to go? You know what I'm saying? So when we're talking about, what if Mike Tomlin becomes available? What if John Harbaugh becomes available? What if and I'll throw a name out there that is an unpopular opinion, but I'm here for that. What if Kevin Stefanski becomes available? You know what I'm saying? So at that point, you're gonna get hit with a dilemma. It's like, timing is everything in NFL. These guys are not gonna be available when we let McDaniel go in 2027 if he doesn't perform next year, because that's what's gonna happen. If McDaniel doesn't perform in 26 with the team that he's gonna be hamstrung with, you know what I'm saying? He's going to be let go in 27. So why not go get a coach who, if you believe in that coach, if it's Harbaugh or Tomlin, if they become available, because there's whispers about both of them being let go, why not go get one of them? Because you're going to move on from McDaniel in 27.
So you think Mike Tomlin's going to move to South Beach? John Harbaugh is going to move to South Beach for Tua?
No, it's a transition. It is already on. The writing is on the wall. They're transitioning away from Tua.
So you're
going to go ahead.
You just said you want to keep Tua and then bring in some competition for him.
No.
You're telling yes.
So the only reason Tua is being kept is because of the cap's dilemma. You don't want to. If you want to throw your cap in disarray for next year, and you're taking a season off next year, that's fine. That is a route we can go. If you want to keep him and then have a clean slate after next year, that's also a route you could go. And that's just the route I decided to go with my cap. Now, how we manage the cap is an individual preference. I'd rather manage my cap clean cut off, and then we move forward from there. Not some half. You cap strong half of this year, cap strong half of next year, and if you trade them after June 26, then you're more cap in 27. Like, that's crazy to me. So I'd rather clean slate, cut it off at the neck. After next season, and then now we're smooth selling. That's just a preference. So it's only for cap purposes, not for playing purposes, because that's we have to do it. We have to manage it. Go ahead, my bad.
Any Dolphin fan that still believes Tua has any chance of winning a Super Bowl as a starting quarterback is in complete denial.
So that's what I asked you, Steve. So you're saying don't keep him on the team and throw the cap in disarray next year, is what you're saying?
This is what I would, at this moment, could change. This is what I do. I'm keeping McDaniel, and I'm going to keep Tua, but he is going to be the backup.
I said the same thing, Steve.
No.
I said that.
No,
I said bring someone who's going to challenge him.
I'm not even going to the podium and saying it's an open competition.
That's fair, but he's still on the team because of the cap.
I'm going to embarrass him. Because he's
still on the team because of the cap. That's it. That was my point.
And that's the only way he stays on this roster. Because
I genuinely understand the point you're making, Steve. And if it comes from a genuine place, you would do that. The one thing I guess you could kind of risk is losing the locker room, because it's like, hey, in terms of like, okay, I'm going to keep Tua, but I'm going to embarrass him, because the guys are like, that's just wrong, quote unquote. It's like, you don't need to embarrass him. Like,
how do
you guys don't want to come back and play with him anymore? That's the thing. How do you expect these grown men to put it on the line for a guy that they clearly know isn't it? Like, that's where you go with bad seasons and bad franchises. You have to have hope and have to be optimistic that you're going in the right direction. This is the issue with Tua, and this is why I'm extra frustrated with Tua, because this guy is destroying my favorite franchise of all time like my family. This guy has somehow, he's like the in-law that, you know, married your brother,
Steve,
cousin.
you're delusional,
And you're
bro.
like,
You're
how did we let
delusional,
this virus get in the building?
Steve, you're delusional, bro. I told you we were the Cleveland Browns. You didn't want to believe it. Like, bro, we're that team, bro. We're the team that everybody's like, yo, y'all think y'all gonna be something, y'all gonna do something, and we're never nothing, bro. We're at the bottom of the barrel with the Browns, Steve. I try to tell you, our history is something else, but that's not who we are, bro. That's not who we are. That's not how people see us.
So very quickly, because I know, Charlie, you and I were doing an episode on this, but while we've got Share and Steve here talking about bringing in competition, these are the current list of...
No, bro. We're gonna do an episode, bro. Let's do a whole episode. I want to do an episode on that, bro. I feel like we don't have time. I feel like we don't have time.
So I'm not saying discuss it. I'm naming the list while Share and Steve is here. I'm saying, yeah, the 2026 quarterback free agents, according to Spotrac: Daniel Jones, Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Marcus Mariota, Zach Wilson, Tyrod Taylor, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Jimmy Garoppolo, Mitchell Trubisky, Case Keenum, Trey Lance, and the lower you go down, it's just like
there'll be more too because people are gonna get cut too. But go ahead, continue.
Yeah. So Trey Lance, Josh Johnson, Carson Wentz, Brandon Allen, Malik Willis, Carl Allen, Ted Bridgewater, and yeah, you're probably gonna get like Justin Fields, Geno Smith, and a few others. Like, it's
you telling me right now Joe Flacco can't challenge Tua to start right now?
Challenge. He's
no. This was Kadeem because he's under the pressure. There's no one out there that could challenge Tua.
Yeah, Flacco.
That's my point.
No.
The top four of those quarterbacks. I think it was top four of those five. Top 4 of 5 of those quarterbacks can give Tua a run for the money right now.
Daniel Jones probably misses next season. Yeah, Rodgers, I don't believe in Wilson. Zach Wilson's there as well. Like Mariota's probably right now your best bet.
All of them boys, I would if you said you got one game tomorrow to get into the playoffs, bro, and they knew the playbook, they knew the system. Tua is playing terrible right now, bro. We cannot. There was one moment. There was a moment, and not even a moment. There was a time. There was like multiple seasons where I would sit here on this podcast, but hey, when Tua's out there, I don't worry about much. You know what I'm saying? Give me the offense, the last play of the game, last drive of the game. I'm comfortable. I don't worry about it. He was never quote unquote turn the ball over. He didn't even turn the ball over like that. You know what I'm saying? But now there's no peace. There's like, I don't know what we're gonna get with this offense. I don't know what I'm gonna get out of Tua. And it's the same thing for McDaniel too. It's not just Tua. So that's why I disagree with Steve. Like McDaniel be on something too. He'd be tripping. So and that's where I'm at. So when it comes to quarterbacks like Flacco, Jameis Winston, it's like, at least I know what I'm getting. It's what you don't know when you're getting out of Tua that separates the two. I know I'm gonna get 600-yard game from Jameis Winston twice. I know I'm gonna get that. I also know I'm gonna get 6 picks from him twice.
I just can't picture teammates looking at Tua, knowing that he's making $54 million and he's, just playing the way he is. Like, I don't know how you expect to keep guys motivated. I don't know how you expect to build a solid foundation of trust, because that's what, an organization, it's from top to bottom, right? You got to believe everyone's doing their job. Everyone, shows up and performs. I don't see how it's like, it's like politics, man. When someone just, you see someone supporting a politician, you see them lying through their teeth. It's just because they're married to that party for whatever reason. And it's just like, dude, you just be honest about it. Be honest about the candidate's not great. And that's what it is. It's just like, I don't know how anyone, the biggest Tua supporters can say, this guy's going to somehow turn it around.
No. So I think he can. I just don't want to be here for it. Like, so I think it's possible. The same way you went the wrong way that fast, I think you could fix it. But I'm not here for it because I haven't seen you fix it since 23 Titans game. I don't have time. I don't have patience for that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have the patience for it, and I believe we have to pivot in football. Like to be your trajectory to be what it is since that Titans game to now. That's over the span of now 3 seasons. You know what I'm saying? Now it's not 3 whole seasons, but it spans across 3 seasons, and I don't have patience for that. But I do think he can get it turned around, Steve. So I don't mind putting myself out there and saying that. I think he can, but do we have the patience for it to wait it out if he can? So look, bro, you about to say something, Kadeem?
Yeah, it's something Steve mentioned earlier about, his Tua's personality. I think it's at a point now where, for the good of the franchise, the fans, and for the player himself, you just let him go in the offseason. Because the laughing on the sideline, what he says in the press conference. Listen, there's a world in which he magically, and I'm not gonna say even get back to 2023 to it, but I'll go 2022 to it. Do you know what? Cool, fair enough. I don't think Dolphin fans would care. I think Dolphin fans you need to go because I'm going to seriously harm you. Like they don't even they don't even want to imagine a world where he gets to stay and earn the chance to improve. It's like, listen, nah. And again, social media is a very weird place, but there's so many who are just like, I believed in you. People posting videos of them jubilant when we drafted him and just going, I was this happy, I'm now this sad. It's like a marriage. Some marriages can be repaired, but you know what? I don't want to try and repair it. Like, you hurt me so bad. Let's just go our separate ways. You do you elsewhere. If you go elsewhere and have a Sam Darnold or Jared Goff or Baker Mayfield second half career, cool, great. It's just not going to be in Miami. And I think, Tua was the first Dolphins quarterback that I saw got drafted as a starter. Tannehill was my first quarterback. I've got jerseys, all this kind of stuff. Even I'm now just like, dude, you have to go.
So that's basically what I'm saying. I do believe Tua could do that Goff Baker Mayfield thing. I just don't have the patience to wait it out with the Dolphins because too much is invested in the other parts of this franchise. In short, so
this week, do you want him starting?
I think it's pointless for him to start now.
Yeah,
right now. For the rest of the season, I don't think he should play any more games this season.
I have a question linked
and same thing with Achane, though. I don't think Achane should play any more games this season either.
That was my question for bonus time. It's because assuming Tua is benched the rest of the season, do you start Achane, Waddle?
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't.
Jordan Brooks. Basically, anyone who, and maybe not even names, but anyone who you want to have on the roster next year, do you start them for the next week?
So let's talk about it in bonus time, and we'll talk about Ace Ventura too.
But overtime. Sorry.
Yeah, y'all know what time it is. I got something else for overtime too. Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive. Test negative. For Sherrod, Steve, and Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
So I'll answer my question first. I think it's unfortunate, but I think you have to bench basically all your starters for next year. I said to someone.
So here's the thing, Kadeem, and I know you're about to keep going, but my thing is, I don't think you're allowed to do that with the competition committee. Like, I don't know if you're allowed to just I'm not starting nobody. I think there's some type of competitive thing where you're not allowed to do that.
If you're healthy, you play.
Right.
It's that simple. If you're hurt, you got a legit injury, maybe a hamstring that's been really nagging you. Okay. You don't have to push it. But if you are healthy, you are absolutely playing.
My reason for not playing them, though, is if you're healthy, and you get injured in one of these meaningless games and you miss next year,
you're out next year.
And again, it goes back to the 2023 season, the Bradley Chubb game or the Bradley Chubb injury, and it's like, why was he on the field? And I've said to people, I'm in the camp of I would trade Achan. Love him, best Dolphins player right now, but I'd trade him for the reasons. But if you're going to extend Achan, but he gets hurt,
if you're gonna trade Achan and he gets hurt, same thing.
Yeah,
It's the same
So it's like, dude, you don't need like I've seen everything I know. Whether I'm trading him or I'm keeping him, what I'm going to get from Achan down the line. I'm not playing you to get hurt and then be like, well, now what?
So, Steve, you said if you're healthy, you play. Technically, everyone's hurt somehow. There's some injury that they could be benched for. Like, all right, no one's 100% right now. So you know what, Achan, I know you got that sore calf that you've been nursing for 8 weeks. We're sitting you now. You can nurse that sore calf. So technically, you probably can sit people, but I think there's some type of competitive thing where you cannot just bench healthy players like that. So, but you about to say something.
That would bother me. I would hate that if first off the coach even suggested it, and then a player was just like, "Yeah, cool. I don't want I want football players."
Yeah, but you wouldn't hurt. You wouldn't hate
the game. And if we're playing,
you wouldn't hate if your team is 5-11, and then your starting running back gets hurt for next year.
Never want anyone to get hurt, but we're paying him. Like, here's the thing. So I live in South Florida still. Should I be expected to go to the game and Achan is not going to show up and Chubb's not going to show up?
Yeah, that's collateral damage.
I'm going to pay for a ticket
that's collateral damage. That's why you shouldn't have a sorry team.
And Chubb got hurt because we had no bodies to even fill the roster that year. We were down to
no Chubb. Like they could have benched Chubb, or they could have pulled Chubb at the end of that game and be like, "Cool, fair enough." But the thing is, even the coach was like, "We're not putting the play like was it." I can't remember who was playing, but we're losing. It's like you guys don't deserve to come and stand the sideline. You're going to finish strong, and then Chubb get hurt. So it's like, well, that was a waste of time. And also,
that used to be my philosophy: win as a team, lose as a team. That you know what I'm saying. But when you're that close as a franchise, knowing that we're about to make a playoff run, it's a little different. But I get both. I get both sides.
Yeah. Steve, I genuinely get the point, but it's just like. I'm in no way trying to jinx it, but it would also be the most Dolphins things. Like, of course, a key player got hurt when we benched a starting quarterback because that's just the world we live in. But
bro, I just hope when the Bills wanted Waddle, I was in the store and some Bills fan hit me up. Oh, I wanted Waddle. I wish the trade would have went through. And I hit him with I wanted you to have Waddle. I wish the trade would have went through. I just hope when they had that conversation, it was like, hey, you're not giving us enough. We'll revisit it in the offseason. And we still get a 1 and a 3 for Waddle because he's not worth a 1 and a 3. Like, bro, like we'll gladly take that 1 and a 3 to Buffalo where he's not going to pan out to be anything in Buffalo. I think that's a perfect destination for Waddle is to go to Buffalo because people believe in Josh Allen and Waddle's not going to be it for him. But anyway, listen, bro. Hey, look, I got something for you though. Patrick Mahomes tore ACL. He's going to be out next year too. Andy Reid was talking about retiring 2 seasons ago. Not saying he's retiring now and Patrick Mahomes isn't going to be a Chief. But what is the trade value for Patrick Mahomes right now? What would you trade to acquire Patrick Mahomes right now, Steve, knowing he cannot play next season? What would you give up for Patrick Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes is untouchable. There is no way.
I understand that, Steve.
You should ask me Joe Burrow.
He's next. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get there
because there might be something there.
There's nothing there. There's nothing.
Patrick Mahomes, please follow the script. Patrick Mahomes. How much for Patrick Mahomes would you give up, knowing that he cannot play for you next year?
I have zero interest.
So you don't want Patrick Mahomes, is what you're saying?
I do, but I'm not gonna sell the farm for a guy that is, going on the back end. I think he's gonna even play maybe 10 more years. But it's gonna take when you sell the farm, you're not gonna have a good roster for at least another 3 or 4. So now I'm getting the twilight years of him with a good roster. I just don't see that blueprint.
So less than 3 wins?
Yeah. I'm not even picking up the phone.
All right. So less than 3 wins. Would you trade for Patrick Mahomes, Kadeem?
I would. I don't know what it would take, but I do it. But also, again, it's like I do it knowing I have to basically hit on every free agent or the
And
majority.
and it's coming off an injury.
Yeah, but it's like it's I no matter who your quarterback is, you need to hit on let's say 50% of your free agents and draft picks. You trade the farm for Patrick Mahomes, that percentage goes from like 50 to like over 75. Like you can't have many, if any, misses in certain positions because you've just traded away so much. So now the pressure, like the 2023 Dolphin draft class where you've got like 4 picks and Chris Greer hits on 1 and it's Devon Achan. Like those 4 pick draft classes, I need 4 hits because it's going to be like that for the next few years. But no, I do it.
You got the floor, Steve. I gotta hear this. Your boy Joe Burrow acting up in Cincinnati, putting all the blame on everybody else but himself. How much? What would you trade to acquire Joe Burrow?
I'm not. Forget the phone. I'm walking there. I'm walking, putting my good shoes on, wherever that. If they don't even have a GM, that's what a joke that franchise is. And I'm knocking on that door. I'm not leaving. I'll sleep outside till that deal's done. So
once upon a time, you said 5 ones. You still trade 5 ones for Joe Burrow?
Absolutely, yeah. So I was right on that. I believe. I think that would have been the right route.
Bro, the man gets hurt every play.
Yeah, and he's never had an O-line better than like 21st ever, and he's never really had a not
the Tua hasn't had an O-line that's better than the top.
I saw a good O-line last night. I'm seeing actually Brewer, this O-line this year has actually played quite well overall, and kudos to them because they do deserve that.
Who put that O-line together?
Greer.
It's amazing. I find it hilarious. I find it, and again, like this honestly isn't aimed at you, Steve. But people will be like, "This is a really good O-line." Blah blah. Also, Chris Greer never done anything. It's like, yeah, cool, fair enough. You can't marry the two things because your brain doesn't go from A to B to C. But that's fine. And again, like honestly, wouldn't aim at you, Steve. But I just find it very funny.
Yeah, no, you're right with that. But we don't need a good O-line. We need a dominant line with Tua. That's what we need.
You need a dominant line, period, to win in the NFL, bro.
No, not when you have Joe.
All right, this offseason, we're gonna have another episode. How many teams won Super Bowls when their O-line was in top 12? That's gonna be another episode. We're gonna figure this one out because that's gonna take some time to figure out. But Joe Burrow, you think Joe Burrow is just suddenly never gonna get hurt behind the O-line?
No, there's no doubt he's had injuries and all types of injuries too. But I do believe he's Andrew Luck right now. He is just getting abused. He plays for a terrible franchise that is just not taking care of him whatsoever. My thought is
taking care of him. What does that mean? Taking care of him, not taking care of him.
Okay. Do you think that they've handled their off seasons in a good way in which it benefited the team? Do you think the Hendricks situation? Do you think that first-round draft pick out of Texas A&M, the D end, who what was that about?
We're talking about taking. Don't pivot on me, Steve. We're talking about taking care of Joe Burrow. That's what I said. What I said.
I said part of it.
This is taking care of Joe Burrow. What is the first-round pick in Cleveland or second-round pick in Cleveland or in Cincinnati have to do with taking care of Joe Burrow?
Because Joe Burrow needs a defense as well.
So Joe Burrow needs a defense.
Yeah, I mean,
I need a top 5 defense.
I need it.
The same Joe Burrow that said he wanted to bring back T. Higgins and Hendricks because we could do it. You know what I'm saying? We should sign these guys. So the same one who he played LeBron. When LeBron was the GM, it didn't work out. And like, damn, we missed. So now Joe Burrow's the GM and he missed again. And now it's not his fault when he was campaigning to pay everybody.
I went on the record when Joe Burrow signed. I told you, it's still in the text. It's got to be. I was surprised that he got paid so much. I thought he was going to take a discount. I was surprised because he knows who he's playing for, because that's part of it. That's not a destination. It's just not. The only people that are going there are people that want to play with Joe Burrow. They don't want to eat the Skyline chili that Joe Burrow hates. They don't want to go there for whatever Cincinnati's known for and they offer, I don't know. It's not it. That franchise is arguably the worst of all of them. Like, I'm talking about facilities. I'm talking about, from top to bottom. And yes, I agree. That's why they signed 2 wide receivers that they shouldn't have.
But
they mismanaged their money.
They were gonna. Who mismanaged? He was a part of the mismanaged money. Joe Burrow was a part of campaigning for the mismanaged money. He took 50 plus. Hold up. He took 50 plus. He told him to bring back T. Higgins. He told him to bring back Hendricks. If you let Hendricks go, you let Higgins Hendricks go, you can bring in O-line. You know what I'm saying? Protection. You know what I'm saying? Now, what does Joe Burrow having a bad defense have to do with him getting shut out? The offense not putting up 0 points. What's that have to do with anything?
That's why I'm optimistic, because we've never seen it before. We've never seen Joe Burrow get shut out. He doesn't look like himself. He looks beyond frustrated. He's lost his joy for the game. And we have precedent in Cincinnati. His name is Carson Palmer. And that man said, you know what? This is so bad here. I'm not even going to play the game anymore. I'm going to pack my bags and I'm out. And that's what he did. And I don't recall for sure, but did he just sit out an entire year? I think he did before he went to Arizona.
Listen, no, it wasn't the whole year. I don't think it was the whole year. But listen, I had one of my favorite groups growing up was Goody Mob. Once upon a time, I was a lot younger. You know what I'm saying? Good and CeeLo Green, Soul Machine, was a part of Goody Mob. And Goody Mob had this album that did not sound like Goody Mob. It was like, oh, this is not the Goody Mob that I know. And it was arguably their worst album ever. And CeeLo did every hook on the album. He was all over the hooks. And then he said, oh, I don't like where this is going. Like, bro, you were on all the hooks. What you mean you don't like where it's going? It's the same thing with Joe Burrow. Like, bro, you got paid 50 plus million. You the one who told him bring back T. Higgins. You said bring back Hendricks. You the one who put this whole thing together. And now you're the one upset with it? Like, I don't understand that.
Did he do his part last year?
We talking about now.
No. It's a simple question. Yes or no?
I don't know. He didn't win the Super Bowl, so no, he didn't do his part.
Wow.
He didn't even make the playoffs last year. He didn't do his part.
I know, but did he do his part? You look at his numbers.
He did not do his part, bro.
He put touchdowns.
Numbers don't matter, bro. Like Jameis Winston. Look at Jameis Winston numbers. He does his part all the time, apparently, according to you.
That's my point, Charlie. He showed up. He did his job.
It's a team game, Steve. You talking about one person. You talking about he did his part. Oh, I did my part. Like, bro, this is a team game.
I understand that. That's why they didn't go to the playoffs, because they didn't have a defense that couldn't do a thing for him.
I disagree.
That guy took that franchise to the Super Bowl.
Hey,
respect that man. Are you kidding me?
Cool. How long we gonna ride on that one?
Listen, like I said,
Mark Rippon won the Super Bowl. How about that?
Yeah. What's your point there?
Who was Mark Rippon? That's my point.
So,
do you even know who Mark Rippon is, Kadeem?
No, not at all. So, to answer your question, 2011, Palmer basically doesn't play for the Bengals, and he gets traded to the Raiders in October, it looks like. And that season, he goes, I think he plays 10, he plays 10 games. So he doesn't miss a full season, but he plays 10 games in 2011. Just on the Joe Burrow thing very quickly. I find Burrow like that interview he gave last week now was quite scary, because he sounded like someone who's like, yeah, I'm ready to hang it up. Like Andrew Luck's like, I'm done. I'm not doing it. I find it quite astounding, but also kind of makes sense that he's missed more games due to injury than Tua. Like, I don't understand how that happens. But also his injuries tend to be quite like genuine long term. In terms of the actual player, it's night and day, just how good he still is, even coming back from injuries and all that kind of stuff compared to Tua. But I would be afraid to sign him, because I feel like at any moment he could just be like, yeah, I'm done. Like, let's say the Dolphins trade
5 first-round picks.
I wouldn't trade 5 first, but like Dolphins trade a lot, and then somehow start the season 1-4. He'd be like, no, I'm done. Like I'm not doing this. Yes, you just traded me, but I'm getting beat up. We're 1-4. I'm not even going to try and turn it around. I'm going to retire. And I think, or even similar to, was it Darius Slay who?
Yeah, it was Darius Slay.
Who was a couple of weeks ago, like left the team, and I think when the Bulls picked him up, and he was like, "Nah, I ain't doing this. Like, nah, I ain't trying to." I think people was like he wanted to go back to Philly. The Bulls picked him up, and he was like, "No, I'm not reporting." Like when it was Adam Thielen who just left, was it Carolina? And like, yeah, you know, he was allowed to leave because he wanted to go, you know, for a playoff team or someone to win it to give him a good chance to win a ring. And he got picked up by Pittsburgh. And people were like, yo, that's out of order. Like, Pittsburgh, you aren't winning a ring. Like, why did you pick him up? And to be fair to him, he did turn up. But yeah, I would be scared to trade for Joe Burrow. Even if he promised me he's playing for the next 10 years, it's like he sounded like someone who at any moment just gonna go, I'm done. And I can't invest a lot of capital in someone who right now I'm not sure has a long-term future in the NFL.
Kadeem, I don't think Joe Burrow, at least healthy, was ever below 3 on your QB rankings. I'm just a stab. Like, my point is that guy's ceiling is so high when healthy.
What was Sharon Steve? What's so high?
Oh no, I still think I still think it is. And again, it's not me not picking him up isn't to do with talent. It's to do with, like I said, I don't know if you're going to Andrew Luck here and just go, I'm done. And I can't invest in that. Like it's not a chance I'm going to take. But again, like I said, if there's a world in which he's like, yeah, I'm staying for the like again, he just needs to get out of Cincinnati, then yeah, I'd do it. Like I don't know if I've said this to Charlie. I'll take Trevor Lawrence. Like, give me Trevor Lawrence tomorrow.
Nah,
100. Like,
I can do it. You're not saying that's fool's gold. Trevor Lawrence ain't fooling me. He's not fooling me.
He's six touchdowns in the game. You thought Tua walked on water after he did that.
No. Hold on. Their best game would not be better than Tua's best game, and their worst game, Tua's worst game, would not be better than worse than their worst game, and it's still true.
I think
to the dirt.
You forgot about that Cleveland game, buddy.
What Cleveland game?
The one
this year.
Season. But
he didn't throw 4 picks and 2 fumbles.
I think it's the lowest QBR in the entire league this year. That game.
I think Shador Sanders might have that, but I also think the game.
I think Jalen Hurts has that with the 4 picks and 1. I think it was like if you only come in and spike the ball once, your QBR is higher than what.
Sorry. Then JJ McCarthy might have that. Someone came in and stuck up, but very quickly, I do think that Trevor Lawrence game he just had is like better than Tua's best performance in terms of like stats anyway. Like it's like I think he was the first quarterback to.
How many touchdowns? He had 6 touchdowns, right?
I will double check because I said it to.
I think it was 6 touchdowns. It was 6 touchdowns.
The bottom line is we are in no position to even entertain. We're just not. We are stuck with Tua right now. It is the reality of our situation. And even if Joe Burrow went to his front office and said, I want to go to Miami, that's the only place, figure out a deal, do it. We couldn't do it. We just can't.
I think we could do it.
I think
we could probably do it. I think we could. I think we got players and picks that we could trade for someone if we desire to.
But the roster is just going to be trash at that point.
Right. But it still could be done, is what I'm saying. It can be done, but
we need to reload again, man. I hate to say it, but it's just the truth. But this time is a little different because we got Jordan Brooks and we have guys on the O-line that are playing well. Like we do have some nice pieces, so that makes it interesting for the rebuild. But we have a dark cloud over us, and we got to figure out what we're going to do about it. Until that's resolved, we're stuck.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be like this next year too. That's what I'm saying. Like why not mess around and go get a coach who could fix the locker room?
Well, what about Peyton or Sean Payton with Wilson? He just said, "I don't care. I don't care how much money you made. Get out here.
Hold up, but when you invoke the name Sean Payton, look at the Saints. Sean Payton is the reason the Saints suck right now. Like, he was the person that put them in that cap situation, and they're going to be obsolete for like 3 seasons.
Yeah, but
I don't want that. I don't want 3 seasons. I want I'll take a season.
He also brought them a championship.
I'll take a season and I'll be like, all right, now let's fix it up. Let's do it. You're not gonna put me in the hole for 3 seasons. I got a very unpopular opinion. I almost said online, and I don't want everybody to come kill me for it. Dang. But anyway,
so via Hard Rock Bet on the 14th, a few days ago, Trevor Lawrence just had the best game in NFL history. Nobody had ever had 300 plus yard passing, 5+ touchdowns, 50+ rushing yards, and 1+ rushing touchdown in the NFL.
He probably got Tua with the rushing. His game is probably better than Tua with the rushing. So it took y'all 6 seasons to find one person to do it one time.
He did it. He did it one time. He did it 2 days ago.
No, but yeah. All right, 6 whole seasons. If you want to prove my point even further, it took 6 seasons for one quarterback to have a game better than Tua.
But you also didn't say that 6 years ago, so it took.
I said it before. I said it with the whole the Herbert. It was probably when Trevor Lawrence came out is when I said it. The Hurts, the Jackson, all that. But anyway, it don't matter. Hey, this is good, fellas. It is what it is. Get us out of here, Kadeem.
Snap, we didn't even do Ace Ventura.
What's up? Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. It's okay.
Oh,
but no, but also so. Yeah, I think if I watched this when it first came out, I was a lot younger. Then yeah, I remember like growing as a teenager, and all my friends had seen Scarface, and I was like, okay, cool. Like, what's the hype? And I saw it, I was like, really? Like, and again, Scarface is a great movie, but people hyped up to be like the best thing ever. And again, through no fault of their own, I understand why Dolphin fans have such high regard for this movie. I'm sure if I watch it younger, I would love it.
It's hard to retro date credit to a movie or a song or something from a whole different time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, because you want to be a part of that time. Like, even just anything really. Like, football was not the same in 1990 as it is in 2025. So it's hard to say, oh, well, this player could have did that and that day. Bro, Ace Ventura is a classic, Holmes. Probably top 100 classic of all time movie, any genre.
No, he's a trailblazer with his comedy. Like, no one was ever even close to, like, you can't compare him to anyone. That's how he's a unicorn. So that's why it was such a big deal back then, because they're like, who is this guy? It was just wild.
Marino didn't even take the royalties. He took the cash up front, and it was like $3,500 or something like that. And he's like, I'll just take the money. And now it's one of the best movies in the history of movies.
Yeah, like,
shout out to my dog Jim Carrey. I love Jim Carrey, bro. But I can't. But there was once upon a time I used to come home from middle school or high school or whatever school I was in and watch Dumb and Dumber on VHS every day. VHS, like, while I did my homework, Dumb and Dumber was playing in the background on VHS. So shout out, that's my dog, bro. Jim Carrey forever.
It's probably my favorite movie all time.
Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah.
How's your burger? Oh man.
But yeah, like I said, I in no way hate it. I was like, yeah, I could see why Dolphin fans love it and why people love it. I would probably never ever watch it again. But I can now say I've seen Ace Ventura, and I think that's probably the final thing for me to say I'm like officially a Dolphins fan. I feel like Dolphin fans will now accept me. Like, before, it's like, you've never seen it, and I was like, no, I've seen it. I just won't tell them that.
Finkel is Einhorn. Okay. Einhorn is Finkel. Man. All right, let's get us out of here, man.
Yeah, I never would have got that twist. Like, never would have got it. Like, but fair play. Yeah, guys, it's been therapeutic as always. Join us for the Bengals preview later on this week in a season which, as always, like, it really is the hope that kills you. Like, the Dolphins go into this game, cold weather, practice in the snow. Prime time, can they do it? No, because they're still the Dolphins. So, Guys, until the next time, we shall see you soon. Peace.
Oopsie.